Howdy, and welcome back to the Road to the Great Canadian Open Winter 2026. My name is Clarence, and this is my video series as you follow me as I paint up my Brotherhood Without Banners army 1 hour a day, 1 day at a time. The point of this video series is for me to try to inspire you, to show you that you can also paint an army if you work at it a little bit on a regular basis. I'm trying to do 1 hour a day, and I'm privileged that I have that ability to do so. Everyone's got jobs, partners, kids, lives, other things to take care of, so I know it's hard to find that time. I just try and urge you to ask yourself, can you carve out 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes in your day? Can you be on your phone less? Can you watch less TV? Can you do something less to find time to paint? Once something's painted, it's done forever. It's a very rewarding feeling to get an army painted or even a tray painted. And honestly, now that I'm in this regular schedule, I really look forward towards an hour painting. I find it very calming. I put on a show on YouTube, I listen to a podcast, something, and the hour really flies. So I encourage you to try it out. I encourage you to paint your army. If I can do it, you can do it. Believe me, just try and find that time. So let's see where we're at and what's the next step. So this is where we're at. Last session, we actually did a lot of little details. We touched up the white. We did the pants with basilicum gray. We did the yellow around the hoodie parts. We did the fletching. We did the casing of the quiver for the crossbow bolts. We did the banner shaft. So today, with an hour, I think our goal is to do some of the snakebite leather. There's just so much going on in these models that I know we can't do it all. So I think my goal is to maybe do the lower half. So I think anything around the belts and down, so these, I can't remember how to pronounce these, like pteryges, these weird flaps that are like feathers, I will try and do that today. So we'll start there, and we'll see how it goes. So 1 hour work starts now. See you soon. A little more than 20 minutes later, the bottom half is all done. So all these pteryges, or whatever these label or lapel things are all done, and still a chunk of time left. So I'm actually pretty confident that maybe I can do the top half of the model. Now there's also a lot of armor, like these guys have one pad on their shoulder, and then on their forearms, those vent braces and the elbow pads, those are all metal. So it's actually not as much snakebite leather as I may have thought in the first place. So let's get to the top half, and we'll see how much time that takes. See you soon. 15 minutes later, we are actually all done the snakebite leather on the top halves of their bodies. I've got about, 25 minutes left? Is that right? Yeah, I guess so. And I'm at a point where it's tricky because there's just not a lot of easy stuff left. I imagine painting the crossbows will take a lot of time. I think painting all the armor will take a lot of time. But I did also notice that for some reason, it's kind of hard to see. Give me a moment. I forgot to paint the leather parts of the quiver holding the bolts. So you can see the guys on the left, I put snakebite leather on, and the guys on the right, I did not. So I'll have to go back and do that anyway. That should take some time. I will paint all the tactical rocks with some Dawnstone gray, and then maybe I'll put yellow onto the banner, and we'll see how much time that takes, and we'll come back after that. So see you soon. 25 minutes later, we are done. So we just did some more detail work. We put a wash onto the tactical rocks with Nuln oil, so just in the rocks and the feet there. And then we put a round wash, well, let's take a step back, along the back of the quivers. They have there we go. The top parts I did in gold, and then I washed the red fletching and the gold with a Agrax Earthshade. I chose gold just because I knew that there'd be some silver along the shoulder pad and the vent braces and the elbow pad, and I thought I just want to add something a bit different. Plus, for the Golden Company crossbowmen, a little bit of gold here and there can't hurt, I suppose. So that makes for an even hour of painting. And we're almost there. I think next session we're going to do the wildwood on the crossbows and maybe the skin. So maybe 2 more sessions and then off to some oil. So thanks for watching, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the series so far. And I hope you're painting as well. Let me know what you're working on. And please share the video series with anyone you think would benefit from some inspiration. So keep the faith, folks, and see you next time. Bye-bye. And we are back with another little mini battle report between Jay and I. So Jay and I recently played on Tabletop Simulator, which is a fantastic way to play the game online. It's got a great mod. If you want to find out more, leave a comment and we can chat about it. I'm happy to teach people how to play on TTS. So we were playing a Dance of Dragons, and he used his slightly updated Oberyn Martell list. So in his list, he's got Oberyn Martell in Blackguard. He's got Sand Skirmishers with the High Hermitage Sentinel, which gives him pivot and march. He's got the Skyreach Bowmen, who've got a Spearlord for Boldness and Courage for the extra attack. He's got more Sand Skirmishers with Harmon Uller and Edric Dane. Harmon Uller, I believe, has reinforcements, which gives him healing when he activates, extra healing if he's got the crown. Edric Dane is Dauntless, so heals when he passes morale. I fought this unit before, and it's pretty durable, especially if they pass Panic, so very scary. His NCUs are Alaria Sand, who I think is a must-have to remove tokens and add tokens. He added Tyene for the poison on the tactics board, and something new was Arion. I think her name's Martell. Is it Arion Sand? I don't remember. Anyway, she's the 5-point NCU who can either deactivate an attachment or deactivate a unit's orders, I believe. Yeah, I think it's orders. So the reason why he took her is because he wants to turn off Sentinel. He's even go so far as to say that he's thinking of changing Alaria into Jaqen for double Ariane, essentially. But our Alaria is so good that I think that's not going to happen. So yeah, Sentinel's becoming popular in our meta, so he's using it to turn off Sentinel. My list, I took Commander Catelyn in Archers. Because I'm playing on TTS, I can actually access things I don't own, so I thought I'd try out Wampus's double Archer, double Cav list. Archers with Hot Pie in the flank here. I've got Sword Knights in the middle with nothing, and then I've got Tully Cav with a Fortune Seeker. My NCUs were Thoros, Ravella, and Varys, which is like my usual go-to. For terrain, he started off with a Palisade. We both love Palisades. He's got quite a bit of shooting, but so do I, so I didn't really care. I put down a Werewood next, mainly because I wanted clear terrain so that my Cav can run through without being penalized. He put down a Werewood here, and then I put down a Corpse Pile here. I like putting down asymmetrical terrain so that the role for first player or terrain actually matters. So we then started deploying. I won the dice off, so I chose first player. I wanted to make sure that he outflanked round one. So he chose table side. Of course, he took the side of the Werewood. I had to deploy first. I put down my Sorn Knights first down in the middle. The reason was that Sorn Knights can redeploy to either flank as Cav, and I don't mind if they have to charge the front because they're more of a grinding unit anyway. He countered by putting Oberyn down the middle, which is a very powerful play because it just says, I'm going to grab the center of the really rock-hard unit. What are you going to do about it? I then put down Catelyn on the flank, I believe, with archers, and then he countered with his Sand Skirmishers. I put down Hot Pie here, and then he put down his archers here. And then I realized this side has kind of too much stuff. If they both converge on this point, he's going to outshoot me, outfight me. So I put my Tully Cav here with the intent to abandon my right flank, essentially. He then put down his last unit of Sand Skirmishers over here. So that was deployment. And for cards, we had the flank cards are fairly irrelevant. I think they were like, this is a weakened token. This might have been precision. And then the one in the middle was somewhat relevant. It was throw out a panic token. I don't think it actually mattered in our game, but there it is. So that's deployment, folks. Let's see end of round one. End of round one, what happened was the usual Jay Clarence interaction where we kind of yin-yang around the table. So you can see that his archers and his Sand Skirmishers pushed along the right, and then most of my stuff pushed along the left. So again, because I saw all the power on his right, I deceitfully positioned Hot Pie in March 12. I pivoted at the end to face the middle to give you shooting options down to the center point. Left side just circled. His right side was interesting because he doesn't want to pick up the objective with the Sand Skirmishers because they only have short range. So he was set up to blow past it. And then very cleverly, he's going to have his long-range archers pick it up so that even though they can only move 2, their long-range fire means that they can maybe support fire into the middle. And then he just marched Oberyn up to grab the middle, and he's got his Sand Skirmishers fading back to support.
So I'm already in a bit of a pickle because I know he's going to pick up the middle and the flank. I'm only going to grab the left flank here, and I need a plan now as to how I'm going to wrestle back an objective from him. So Jay did mention that he when he saw me abandon the left, he wanted this unit, which is kind of squishy and vulnerable, to grab the objective. So now that they were safe. All right, end of round 2, more moving around, more repositioning from us. So now he played a little cautious here. He hung back, didn't want to take any free shots from my bowman. So my bowman with no options kind of just started circling to the left. Caitlin grabbed the objective, archers grabbed the objective, Open grabbed the middle. I was simply too far away to do any charges. So that was a problem because this is the end of round 2. I always like to charge end of round 2 and then swing with the sword round 3. So you can see here, end of round 1, my cav was just too far away to get to the middle. Now, it actually wasn't that bad for the Tully cav, but Jay very cleverly, I believe, used a horse and a cunning ploy to keep shifting over and backwards, which made it harder for me to charge him. So I decided not to and just set up for a round 3 push. So round 2, he was leading 2-1. This is round 3. He's now leading 4-2, and I really need to wrestle back an objective on round 4. So the goal really was try to double team Oberyn. Maybe I get a flank charge with the Telekav. It is very scary because this unit of Sword Knights in the middle, if they're to engage, will get shot to pieces by both units. But if I can kill Oberyn with this charge and fade back 6 maybe, or fade back 5, maybe I'll be okay. So it's not looking good, but it's not, we're not out of hope yet. You can see that we're also like fully healthy. We've just literally been for 3 turns, yin-yanging and positioning. So round 4 is when all the action happened. So the knights. So I ended up taking the poison with Thoros, which he wasn't going to be useful, unfortunately, compared to Ravella. Ravella, how should I put this? Thoros is not always useful because he might want to take the zone and not use his ability. Ravella is always on top of the zone. So I figured if I had to lose an NCU, I'd rather lose Thoros. It was a prime time to do it because at the time, he also had an unactivated NCU, and by taking the sword, he would lose an activation. We both felt it because I was able to get a double charge in on Oberyn's unit. However, the knights were weakened. He had 2 intercept orders, which blocked me from taking off the weakened token over the 4 rounds that we played. So they charged in, and I think they only got something like 4 hits after the weakened token got played, and then I killed 3. He passed the panic. The Sword Knights charged in, and this was unfortunate for me. They got 7 out of 7 hits. They were vulnerable. He only had to lose 5 models or fail the panic to drop the token, and I think after the vulnerable token, he only lost 3. So he rolled really good saves. It happens. Past the panic. So they're crippled, but he holds the objectives again. So it's again 6-3 at the end of the round. And now I'm locked in with Oberyn, and his shooting units are all in place to fill me full of arrows. The Tully Cav, after he charged Oberyn, did get poisoned in return by Oberyn, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping that the Sword Knights would get poisoned. The Tully Cav hit harder, are a better piece overall. My attachment's in there, but just the timing worked out that it made more sense at the time while I had a flank open to charge Oberyn in the flank. That's the end of round 4, I believe. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, this is the end of round 3, so it's actually only 4-2. So then round 4 starts. He leads, and I think, so he took the sword. He start of turn played Mark Target on the Tully Cav. I canceled it with Knights of Hollow Hill. He would have shot with these guys, he said, but instead he had turned his archers over to support the middle very cleverly. Good foresight on Jay's part. Used the sword, and I think I had 8 wounds. Let me just double check here. I had at least 8 wounds, I think, on this unit, and 1 volley later, they were all dead. So he got a lot of hits with rerolls. I failed a bunch of saves, but critically, I also crit failed panic and my unit just popped. I then, I think, swung with the Sword Knights. I got lucky in return. I hit 5 times or 6 times, and he failed just enough saves. He failed the majority of his saves and lost Oberyn in return. So we both lost the unit. I've grabbed the objective, and I'm like, okay, it's now 5-3. If I hold both objectives, maybe it'll be 5-6, which is not too far behind. I'm not feeling good about the game because his units are just more dynamic and get more attacks in. So I think even though we each lost a unit, if he was to push and fight my archers, he would get more attack activations in and ultimately kill me. But who knows what might happen? So we kept on playing. After I killed Oberyn, all 3 units were able to shoot into the Sword Knights, grind them down to, I think, my last 3 wounds, and I did fail the last panic test and drop the objective as well. So unfortunately, I only scored 1, so it went from 4-2. He held 1, I held 1, so it became 5-3 at the end of round 4. And then round 5, I led. I shot into here with Caitlyn, a little bit of damage. He activated one of the units, killed off my knights. It's now 6-4, I believe. Let me just think here. I scored 3 points. I'm at 3. He's at 6. It's 6-3 for Jay. And I'm just doing the math, right? He's going to pick up 2 objectives. He'll be at 8. I'll have 1. There's just no way for me to catch up. And the gap would have been a 5-point difference. So I said, you know what, I concede. It's going to be crushed either way. How do I feel about what happened in the game? How do I feel about the lists? So I think Jay played great. Jay always plays great. His list in particular is very well suited for this scenario. And it made me think, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this scenario. So if I use the same list, you don't want to pick up the objectives of Cav is the problem. And unfortunately, the Brotherhood Archers are just not very good into the Blackguard if you're shooting from the front. You need those keywords, right? So that's why I deployed my archers in the flank. So in hindsight, maybe I should have actually put 1 archer in the front, 1 archer in the flank, and put my Sword Knights down here to sort of hold him off. Because I gave up the right flank so easily, his units were just able to sweep down uncontested and surround me. So if I kept the Sword Knights here, I think maybe Double Archer can plink shots into Oberyn, and I hold back a tray with my Sword Knights while my Telecav circle around. So maybe that would have been a better way to play it. I also thought, is this the right list for the scenario? Maybe I should have used my other list. Now, my other list, ironically, was a new variant of my Barrack list, where I try Thoros attachment in dervishes. I was going through the champions on stats, and it seems to be a popular combo, and I can see why, to be discussed later. But I even thought, my traditional Thoros list with 8 activations and the pikemen might have been better in this scenario to wrestle the middle objective off Oberyn. And then I remembered that list also has Caitlyn as an NCU, who is really good against a lot of the Martell Sand Skirmisher stuff, which activates twice. So it made me think, I really think when it comes to list building, I need to have Cat NCU as one of my options for this particular matchup, where him just moving, and he moves a lot, can be very punishing. So I think that might be the goal going forward, is that this list, I think, is good. It's also decent into Martell's, generally speaking, but I think having Cat and NCU might be better. That's what my gut says anyway. So it's a good game. Hopefully you enjoyed that, folks. And how's your painting coming along? Hopefully your painting is developing too. Let me know what you're working on. And I hope you've been inspired. If you know anyone who could benefit from a painting series to see how chipping away gets things done, please share the video. Thanks again. Keep the faith, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.